Not 4, but maybe 3.
Getting the upper hand should always be your goal. You don't want to be the guy who loses just because of a fluke roll-up.
Oh my, Jacob Cass may be out.
You gotta be kidding me, Michael. Jacob Cass had this.
You gotta intercept that weapon and use it for yourself.
Whoa, put the chairs down. Save it for the ring, tough guy.
Gabriel Slade is here. Thankfully, he's going to put an end to this.
Yeah, Sammy and Ridge want no part of him.
You attack before they attack you. Chair shots to anyone who isn't subscribing or leaving a comment on this video.
Is this the start of a larger partnership between these two?
You either get betrayed, or your tag team partner will become such a big wuss, he won't even come in the ring to help you out.
What? Mommy just attacked Poppy?
When you're partners with someone, you expect they're gonna have your back when you're in trouble, you know? Last week, when I got my ass kicked by those two hicks, where were you, dude? You let a redneck with a chair stop you from helping me? Dude, that is really weak.
Or you get this weird combo where it looks like they betrayed you, and then as they go to leave, they change their mind again and come help you. In Flair's case, I'm just gonna say he had a senior moment, and within like a couple minutes, he's gonna get back to plugging his Viagra and his chicken wings.
Wings! Legendary wings! Woo wings! JBL goes around thinking he's the top dog? Will you make him kiss your ass?
I don't believe this. It's like a totally new JBL.
Thank you, Captain Obvious.
Triple H wants to ruin your life? Not on your watch. You're not gonna be a chump to these guys. You gotta be as ruthless as Randy Orton. And Randy is the career you want to emulate. That means you gotta join Evolution. And Evolution's lore has massively expanded in the world of video games. There are so many Evolution-based storylines, from the earliest days where Randy was just an upstart and losing to Triple H, and threatening to be fired. WrestleMania 21 on the Gamecube actually has Evolution being recruited by Kurt Angle to beat down your character.
I know that Eric Bischoff and Theodore Long might not be too pleased if he knew what we were up to.
Don't worry about Bischoff, Kurt. They might be general managers, but Evolution runs the show around here.
They ambush you in the parking lot. They put the boots to you, a Batista bomb, a suplex, an RKO on the pavement. It becomes a blur as Evolution just keeps slamming you on the ground and hitting their finishers.
Didn't the general manager say he wanted this piece of garbage back when we were done?
They did it for the money.
Yeah, we can drop it off and pick up our check from him at the same time.
So now your character is back at a high school gym and ready to retire. Here comes Eric Bischoff, but he's going to offer to pay for your recovery and the revenge training you're going to need when you come back. You return it unforgiven as a surprise, and you're able to beat Batista in the cage.
You didn't just beat Batista, you ruined the poor guy's career and put him on the shelf.
I heard Batista is going to be out for like 6 months, and his career might be completely over.
Man, I'd hate to be in you-know-who shoes tonight when Evolution shows up. Hey.
You're about to hit Ric Flair with a chair shot, and he tries to beg it off. That doesn't work. Another unprotected chair shot, which he sells like death. Randy Orton's here, and his hands are all over Stacy's butt.
I'm really sorry I couldn't help you. Just as I was about to attack him, I got a huge cramp in this leg, and I had to leave the ring.
It's going to be Triple H and Ric Flair going against your character this week. Randy was with a new girl. Oh, and Batista's now going to be out for a year.
He's got injuries that doctors don't even have names for.
That son of a bitch is gonna pay for that. We're not gonna.
Bischoff does not like all of Evolution's demands, and he threatens Ric Flair with a retirement match. And your character is going to team up with HBK to face Triple H and Ric Flair.
All the wars you've had with Evolution, they still ran the show around here until I came in.
HBK is impressed with what you did versus Evolution, but your character isn't as impressed with Shawn Michaels. You go about breaking Ric Flair's leg on purpose. That's a 4 to 6 month injury.
I mean, the traders say he's out for at least 4 to 6 months.
And Eric Bischoff is thrilled because he hates Ric Flair almost as much as he hates AEW.
HBK doesn't approve of all these injuries. You shouldn't be stooping to Evolution's level. Don't go trying to give career enders.
Shut up, HBK.
And Evolution has had enough of Randy Orton, and they ditch him before his ladder match.
My challenger is undefeated, and I need some Evolution support. No, I know it's just you and me now, but that still means we gotta back each other up, right?
Randy Orton's biggest fear, as we've discussed, losing his sex appeal.
I'm afraid that I'm losing my sex appeal. Hello? Hello?
And since you didn't do Bischoff's bidding, he's working alongside Triple H, and they're going to go against you now.
What was that you said earlier about destroying Evolution? Looks like you forgot about the most dangerous member of the faction. But now we've been forced to unite against a common threat. A superstar whose ego has grown too large and who needs to be stopped.
This all ends with you versus Triple H, and when Triple H tries to beat you up with a sledgehammer, HBK will now have your back. Day of Reckoning 1, your character starts off wrestling on heat, and that impresses Ric Flair, but not his fellow stablemates Randy Orton and Batista. They still gotta beat you up. Also, the game has a massive typo. Yeah, you don't spell Rick like that. But since you did take an impressive beating from Randy Orton and Batista, they're impressed enough to let you join Evolution. If you want, you could have the money, the girls, or if you go against us, 7 years of bad luck. Since going against Evolution is apparently the same as breaking a mirror. Y2J interrupts Triple H. Evolution doesn't control his life. Jericho wants you to think it over. How about you sit under Jericho's learning tree instead? Here comes Eric Bischoff, and he says since Evolution found you, that's who's gonna mentor you. Wow, you don't even get free will. So you work your way alongside Batista and Ric Flair and Randy Orton and win matches. You could own the tag division. Everybody is digging this new team, and Triple H is gonna motivate you guys before your big SummerSlam match. Triple H is like a proud dad, but really, is he expecting us to lose? It's me and friggin' Batista and Randy Orton going up against guys like Val Venus and Lance Storm. Does he not think I could handle Val Venus? Batista is like, what the hell, Triple H? You think that I needed help to beat Val Venus? Well, Batista, you are a weak link. I think Randy Orton should be the partner instead. Oh, so we gotta take out Batista now. I guess it's my job to put him on the shelf.
After the match, you attack Batista. You're just following Triple H's orders. Poor Dave. You know, with friends like these, it's no wonder that he has to walk alone through the pit of danger. Your tag team is now over, and Dave is out of Evolution.
Batista does not take too kindly to that and beats my character down in the locker room, but we're still able to hold on to the tag team titles. Ric Flair wants me to fight more solo matches, because that would allow me to get more title shots. But Triple H is going to decide who you'll actually face. Triple H starts overstepping his ground. He's going to take the right that you earned, and he'll face the world champ, Y2J. This causes a little friction. You and Triple H are title holders, and now you could be a solo champion if you're able to beat ex-Evolution member Batista for the IC title. Batista wants to make you pay. He thinks that the rest of Evolution were just pawns of Triple H, but you're not going to be able to win the IC belt. Triple H has ordered you to hit Batista with a weapon, and that's going to cause a DQ. That's going to allow Randy Orton to beat Batista with what looks like a botched RKO. Well, your character does not think that's right, and for questioning Triple H one too many times, you're gonna get beaten down too. You, failed to become IC champ. You're out. Well, Batista isn't even mad at you anymore, since you too were used as a pawn. But there's no love loss. And you'd never guess this, unless you had listened to the earlier parts of this series, what Evolution does next. They put a bounty on your head.
And they're gonna double down on the cliches because, of course, they have to hire the Big Red Machine.
Alright, they're tripling down on all the cliches. You and Randy Orton are gonna battle for the 29th spot in the Royal Rumble. And if you lose, you're not even gonna be allowed in the Royal Rumble. You end up winning, but then you're snuck attacked by Ric Flair. You were made by me. You could have been part of Evolution. And now at Mania, I will finish you. Ric Flair loves to just sneak attack. HBK tries to step up, but he's also snuck attack. Ooh, slamming the door right into your arm. Ow.
And HBK is going to be dragged into your feud against Evolution. You're going to send those guys a message.
HBK was working with Evolution all along to soften you up for WrestleMania. Yeah, it's the DX Evolution.
Triple H and your guy are on for an iron match at Mania. You know, like Bret versus HBK. You win the title, and Triple H is humiliated. Oh no! Is this Batista's time to finally get some real revenge? Well, if your idea of revenge is to give you a great big bear hug out of happiness, sure, revenge.
So the 2004 Gamecube character, the one that had Stacy Keibler as your girlfriend, yeah, well, Randy Orton's gonna come talk to him about their match tonight. Evolution had kicked your guy out the previous year. Randy hasn't always made the best decisions. You hold no lingering grudge. That grudge died the night Evolution broke up.
This guy's a fool. Evolution doesn't die. We don't even understand Evolution. It's a friggin' mystery.
Triple H and Flair are on the highlight reel, calling out your character for being ballsy enough to want to face Triple H at WrestleMania. And you're like, put up or shut up. It's you and Flair versus Jericho and me. Oh, it's on. Triple H bursts into your locker room, and he's bitching that Jericho just seriously hurt Ric Flair. And now Ric Flair's on the shelf for WrestleMania, and Triple H wants blood for hurting his boy. Jericho and Randy have your back.
We're all sick of Triple H running his mouth. No one is buying what this ass clown is selling.
Randy Orton suggests that we tag up in an Evolution reunion revenge match versus Triple H and Ric Flair. And now Batista is here looking for answers versus your character. How could he accuse your character after what your character just went through the previous year? Randy is in the ring pretending to defend you against Batista. Batista is kinda shady. He may have been one of the ones who stole that title that we talked about earlier in this series. Batista, in a nice suit, is like, you run your mouth all the time. You did it in Evolution, and you do it now. And Batista is still pissed that he was replaced and then injured by Randy Orton. He suspects your character and Triple H of doing something with the title. Batista and Randy's feud is a lot more personal. Your character comes out and says, Batista, it feels like you're trying to pick a fight with everyone. Stop getting sidetracked with Randy Orton. Randy Orton and Batista brawl, and Orton tries to hit Batista with a chair, and accidentally hits your character, causing Batista to get disqualified. At No Way Out, Triple H comes out to answer your challenge, and he answers your challenge for Eric Bischoff. Triple H took you under his wing. He let you in Evolution, and this is how you repay him? By betraying him and breaking up Evolution? We were dominant, and your petty jealousy ruined it. You're green with envy. Envy like a cancer. You turned Batista against us, and then you took out Ric Flair and Randy Orton.
The King of Kings. More like the King of Gaslighting.
2 years ago, you fought me at Mania, and you did the impossible. You beat me. The student became the teacher. Or did you just get lucky? Your character is not hearing this. He calls Triple H a blowhard, and he's gonna order a pizza next time Triple H rambles for this long. So it's gonna be you and your character at WrestleMania. You know Teddy Long, he loves the cliches. The cage is gonna get lowered, and you're going one-on-one with The Undertaker on SmackDown. SmackDown 2006 starts off with Triple H and Ric Flair beating down Batista. They don't need Batista getting the idea to go for Hunter's belt. Shelton Benjamin, who's pinned Triple H at least 3 times, wants to tag up with Batista and go up against Ric Flair and Triple H.
So how about you and me team up and give Triple H and Flair a little payback?
Flair and Triple H beat down this team, and then they put a foot on the chest and tell Shelton Benjamin that he is to never mention his wins again.
You pinned Triple H this, and you beat Triple H that. Never again.
Well, the Batista and Triple H feud has to be put on hold because the Big Show and John Cena from SmackDown invade. Look at this man. He can't style, and he can barely profile. Okay, injured Ric Flair is hilarious. Desperate housewives are going to be let down that Space Mountain has been closed.
All those desperate housewives in this arena will have to go home to their fat, impotent husbands and cry themselves to sleep Because Space Mountain is closed for repairs.
Here comes Batista. Batista wants to know how anything that the SmackDown Invaders did is any different than what Ric Flair and Triple H just did to Shelton. So now Batista and Triple H are back on the same page, and they're gonna head over to SmackDown.
Because Triple H is leading a posse to SmackDown? Please. He shows up here, he's gonna get more of the same. They can't see me.
Batista isn't gonna stop Shelton Benjamin from just attacking Ric Flair. Triple H warns Batista that normally he'd make Batista regret that happening. But right now, you got a free pass to get out of my ring. It's a one-time offer, so don't blow it. This leads to a steel cage match versus Triple H. Batista wins, but Bischoff's gonna vacate the title.
Due to the extraordinary circumstances, I feel that it's only fair to vacate the title until a proper rematch can be made.
Batista doesn't think that Eric Bischoff really gets the wrestler's mindset.
And that's the one reason why he is the ex-general manager of Raw.
Amen to that.
Out comes Triple H, and he's with a recovered Ric Flair. He also agrees that the world title has a lot of importance to it.
I usually disagree with this joker about damn near everything. Without the title, my life has no meaning.
Guys, relax. It's not that serious.
Well, WrestleMania, it's on, and he hits Batista with the belt. I think this pissed off the Hurricane, because now he just hit the ring and wants to challenge Triple H. And instead of just being beaten like a jobber, Triple H hits him with a sledgehammer before the match even begins.
There must have been some kryptonite in that sledgehammer. That's gotta be the shortest title defense on record, JR.
So we're gonna have Triple H and Flair versus Y2J and Batista. The two of them chop block Batista as Jericho gets back in the ring. Ah, just kidding. He pulls his hand back and starts beating down Batista.
Triple H and Jericho may hate each other, but they're willing to put that aside to work together.
The deal was that I'd stay out of the way after the match. I didn't say that you two jackasses should throw me out of the damn ring.
What a whiny baby the Nueve is.
Were we too rough for you?
Y2J is going to beat on Batista, and that's going to help Triple H. Jonathan Coachman is the man in charge.
The coach is the general manager of Raw.
Interim general manager.
You beat me to it, JR.
And he wants people to just get the hell out of his ring.
And believe me, you don't want to be in the ring with the coach when I lose my temper.
Y2J and Flair shrug, because what's the coach gonna do? You do know, Coach, that you need goons when you threaten wrestlers.
I said goons, not goofs. What is Mick Foley doing here?
What the? That's Mankind! Here comes Mankind!
Mankind? Where did he come from? It's been years since that idiotic psychopath showed his mask around here.
He's a WWE legend. I have no idea why he's here, but I'd say his timing is impeccable.
All right, Mick Foley is kind of a random appearance, but you could have given me a million guesses and I would not have predicted the next guy to show up.
And now it's the mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart?
Jimmy Hart makes Mankind the sheriff of Raw, which obviously upsets Triple H.
Everyone in this arena knows that Mankind and I can't stand each other. It should be pretty obvious to Hart, Vince, and everyone else that Mankind's just a bitter, broken has-been who's taking advantage of an opportunity to sabotage my World Heavyweight title reign.
Mr. Socko to Triple H. He's gagging because that's a filthy sock. Batista ends all of this in a Hell in a Cell match versus Triple H, and Triple H can't accept that he just lost. He's gonna try to pedigree him through the top of the Hell in the Cell. But nope, back body drop, and both of them have fallen into the ring.
Carnage! The Carnage! No one could have survived that!
This is gonna be the shortest title reign on record!
Call a veterinarian, because this man's an animal. Here's the confetti as Batista celebrates his victory over Triple H.
He just took a 20-foot fall, and he's on his feet!
In 2007, Randy Orton starts this off by chair-shotting a ref right in the head. Batista is pissed. because he didn't get his #1 contender title shot. Randy loses his match to your character, so he's going to attack you from behind, but here comes Batista to stop him.
Slowly. Even Michael Cole thinks that Batista could really have a little bit more pep in his step.
Come on, Batista, pick up the pace a little.
You've already taken an RKO, as Batista is slowly getting into the ring, leaving just enough time for Randy to leave. You call out Batista for the world's slowest save attempt. In the ring, your character is RKO'd, and Batista just watches it happen. You get mugged in the parking lot.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? Stay right there. Don't move. Help! Somebody help! He's hurt!
Stephanie says that Batista and Orton are the prime suspects.
Look, our family's made this business what it is today. There's no way I'd tarnish my family name. Or yours by doing something that cowardly.
He's got his hands all over her shoulder.
Didn't your father make his name by mugging superstars with a plaster cast for Rowdy Roddy Piper?
Lashley gets made your bodyguard. That went well, but you still beat Randy Orton for the title, which brings out Triple H.
What an impressive match. Is it too late for me to back out of WrestleMania?
Triple H offers a sweet deal. Your match at WrestleMania could be no DQ, if you get some Evolution-related revenge.
You go to SmackDown this Friday night and send my ungrateful ex-protege Randy Orton a message. You pin him 1, 2, 3, and I'll make our title match a no DQ match.
Randy isn't digging that, but his chair attack fails, and Batista chickens out.
Well, Triple H better honor his word.
And now I'm starting to regret making the offer that I made. But as you know, I'm a man of my word.
And the two of you win a tag match over Randy Orton and Batista. But your alliance is short-lived. Triple H beats you with a sledgehammer after. But it doesn't matter. In these story modes, Triple H always does the job at Mania. And Batista, you see him talking with Ric Flair backstage. Flair's the guy who taught Batista everything he knows.
And I'm not going to avoid him just because Teddy Long tells me to.
You got a lot of history with Triple H, too.
In WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2009, you can decide which stable is coming back. Maria interviews Triple H. He's feeling pretty confident.
Maria, do you know who I am?
You're Triple H.
Do you know what I do?
You wrestle?
Triple H says that he's the King of Kings. There's no one better. Edge and Kennedy want to put him to the test. Triple H is able to get his sledgehammer and chase them off.
Nothing evens the odds like a sledgehammer.
Randy Orton is here to help. He hits Edge with a chair shot, and he's going to fend off Ken Kennedy. He's doing this to save Triple H. Lawler wants to know if they're working together. The next week, Randy Orton wants to stop Triple H and have a little talk. Triple H says that he has nothing to say.
But if you need someone to have your back, I've had it before.
Orton, if you want to play this game, you're playing at your own risk.
Your partnership is evolving. Get it? Randy Orton swears he has your back, and that sets up a tag team match for the Royal Rumble.
Where did Randy Orton come from?
Royal Rumble, I want the two of you against me and Triple H.
They're gonna celebrate Evolution
And now we
style.
celebrate Evolution
and
style.
out comes Ric Flair with the girls.
There are 12 more just like her, waiting for us.
We're gonna party, cause I like Ric Flair, but I don't trust you, Randy Orton.
For one night, I'll party with you, Rick. Orton, keeping my eye on you.
The fighting is done for one day. The rest of the night is for partying. Woo!
Triple H also celebrates Shawn Michaels' win, and that he's on his way to become Mr. WrestleMania, and Mr. WrestleMania is gonna win another championship at WrestleMania.
And with all this talk about bands being put back together, you and I should talk.
Are they trying to reunite and sing for a tour? Oh, DX.
Ooh, I wonder what Smack Pizza tastes like. Shawn is serious about restarting DX, but Triple H says that that's a thing of the past.
You can't honestly be telling me you're gonna side with Orton.
Funny. My ears were ringing. HBK, a reunited Evolution is what everyone is dying to see.
Evolution never would have existed without DX. Randy. Triple H is more of a degenerate than you'll ever know.
Now HBK and Randy Orton are gonna fight for your loyalty. It's a DX vs. Evolution feud. Okay, so he goes and wins with both tag partners.
The idea of having an Evolution reunion is very intriguing to Batista,
who comes out and beats down Lundrick.
Did Orton line up Batista to help sway Triple H to Evolution?
So you have to make a choice. Is Evolution back or is DX back? You get to choose.
I go out to eat. I don't hear smoking or non-smoking. I hear DX or Evolution. I go to the store. They don't ask me paper or plastic. The guy says DX or Evolution.
So if you side with Sean, DX is back because they're the best stable. Okay, they don't even believe that.
Better than the Four Horsemen?
Better.
Better than the Nation of Domination?
Believe it, brother.
How about Extreme Expose?
You got me there. Kelly is a better dancer than you are, Sean.
Evolution returns just without Hunter Hearst Helmsley, and they get treated like guests at the Nickelodeon Kids' Choice Awards.
Makes you wish Mike O'Malley was one of the Celebrity Raw guest host GMs.
They are green with envy.
Triple H is on the warpath. He's gonna become champion, no matter who is in his way. Which is awkward because it's Shawn Michaels in his way.
That means at WrestleMania, I will take on the champ and shove his head so far up his...
Triple H!
What is it?
I'm the WWE champion.
But even if they face each other in a very hard-fought match, you can't kill the DX bromance. Even when it looks like HBK is going to be a poor sport when he loses, no, we're ending WrestleMania with him putting the title around his best friend's waist.
That's a lot of trust being shown on the game's part. Think about what you're doing, Sean. It's not worth it.
I certainly wouldn't turn my back on my opponent after I took his title.
Thank God. HBK exhibits admirable sportsmanship after losing that intense match.
But you could also side with Randy Orton, which brings Evolution back. Instead of Shawn Michaels winning, you've decided that you're going to side with Randy Orton.
Evolution is back and in charge.
It was a business decision. And HBK is going to come out to confront Triple H about his decision.
Orton, I expect this from. Batista's more muscles than brain. But you, Triple H, is this the picture you want everyone to see? You next to Randy Orton?
Shawn Michaels isn't even mad. He's just disappointed. And HBK really should have brought his own backup, because Evolution is out here, and they beat the hell out of him. The Heartbreak Kid is able to get some revenge, but it's a goddamn arms race. And Hunter isn't that fond of Evolution getting too involved in his matchups. Wait a minute, I've seen their Titantron. They show up in suits. They don't travel in their ring gear. Triple H is able to trick Randy Orton into making their match at WrestleMania a three-way dance.
I'm not so sure about this.
I'll get my triple threat match at WrestleMania. Now it's time to show Orton who's playing who, and show him how the game is played.
And strangely enough, in this feud between DX and Evolution, you've also gotten Cody Rhodes involved? Triple H's plan is now in motion, and he successfully turns on Randy Orton. Randy Orton has been betrayed, and he's gonna sick Batista on Triple H.
You shouldn't have turned on us, Triple H. Randy's livid, Flair's depressed, and it's been decided that I have to punish you. I'm the animal, and tonight, you're my prey.
Batista ends up losing the match, but in the process, him and Triple H squash their beef.
An animal like you deserves to run free, not to be under anyone's control.
Batista is his own man. He's not going to follow Randy's orders. And now we're at WrestleMania. It's a three-way dance since Triple H figured out how to trick Randy Orton into allowing him into that match. And in this ending, when Triple H wins the title, DX also gets back together. And for being a poor sport, Randy Orton is going to eat a super kick and take a pedigree. In WWE 12, Randy Orton and The Miz are in the middle of a tables match when Triple H makes his return. The Miz had injured Triple H and put him out for a full calendar year. When Triple H's music hits, it distracts Miz long enough for Randy Orton to put him through a table and become champion. Does this mean that Triple H helped Randy Orton? Is Evolution back? No! Triple H still hates Randy Orton and is gonna hold on to that grudge for the rest of his life.
Look, you and I have a history.
Hell, he despises Randy Orton. There's no love lost between Randy Orton and Triple H. They're destined to fight forever. But who invited The Miz? Or his boys? And they're gonna handcuff Triple H to the rope. Where did they get the handcuffs? From Velveteen Dream? RKO on the stage. Which makes them tagging kinda awkward. Cause Randy just does it again. That's probably why Randy has no friends. Triple H and Randy Orton have a common enemy.
This place is infested.
You ready to do some exterminating?
And when that enemy is defeated, Randy Orton offers a handshake. But no, time to eat a pedigree. I mean, what did he think was gonna happen after all those RKOs? Hunter dominates in the triple threat match that they have at SummerSlam.
In 2K15, Randy talks about recreating the glory days of Evolution.
Damn, Batista, put a shirt on.
In 2018, your character wants to start a stable, but Randy Orton wants a clause in it that would prevent any upstart from betraying him and taking over. He's worried because, well, he did that. 2019, Triple H hates your character so much that he actually brings back Evolution just to stop Buzz. Buzz gets beaten down in the ring. Buzz makes his way past the guards and bangs on Evolution's limo. Triple H tries to sledgehammer you, but accidentally hits the limo instead. The odds are just too much, and you get tossed in a limo that speeds off and crashes with you in it. The next week, you're back at the building, ready for a fight.
You don't have the backup that Triple H does.
We have a 3-on-1 advantage, and I think we all know from the last couple of weeks how that's gonna turn out.
Finn Balor is here to help you, as well as AJ. Apparently, you're gonna get Bullet Club backup to beat Evolution. In 2K23, HBK has gone to management, and he wants The Lock to join a stable.
The two superstars who want to recruit you are MVP and Randy Orton.
Okay, so Randy Orton is at least open to talking with you. He had a lot of fun when he was part of RK Bro, and he's thinking, I was serious many years ago. Let's bring back Evolution. And this time, Randy Orton will be the new Triple H.
I'll be the veteran leader, the Triple H type. And I see The Lock in the Phenom role that I held.
He'll guide you, but you guys didn't end on the best of terms.
Did you make up your mind about joining me?
Yeah, I'm ready to be a part of Evolution.
Don't you know that it's a mystery? You tell your documentarian cat, joining Evolution just feels right.
I was skeptical of all this at first, but I'm trying my best to trust the process. Which is tough, since I know Randy's not always been the most straight-up guy.
A limo arrives, and you and Gabriel Slade come out of it. You have a new goal. It's for everybody in this stable to be holding gold.
When I was in the original Evolution, we did that by holding multiple championships. So we are going to do the same thing.
Apparently everyone's doing reboots these days.
You fail to win gold over the newly reformed Hurt Business. Since The Lock lost, maybe Randy will tag with Gabriel Slade instead. Are you gonna take that slight?
I had the match won and caught a bad break with Omos and Montez hitting me with big moves right after the other. And it's not like you're punishing Gabe here for losing.
You're gonna prove that you're worth it by beating the Street Profits all by yourself. Even if you do, still doesn't matter. Randy is going to take your spot. Evolution is already falling apart, it seems.
And for Evolution to succeed, we all need to be on the same page.
The Lock and Slade have changed. They won the tag belts, but now they just take what they want. And they do it without Randy Orton's permission. Wasn't that the clause that Randy wanted to put in? No upstart trying to take over? Randy's in charge. And this rebooted Evolution does nothing but argue.
You might be The Lock, but you're not the leader. And Slade, you're not off the hook either. You went along with his stupid plan.
This group is constantly infighting. It's because they don't have a Ric Flair. Every stable needs a party dude, and this one does not have that.
We care about championships in Evolution. Get your priorities straight.
Okay, so you have a little success. You win at Survivor Series versus the New Day. And in your DMs, somebody wants to see a fantasy match of what this new version of Evolution would do in a match against the actual Evolution.
Which is a way for this game to incorporate classic Batista into their story mode.
And Randy is not that great of a leader. All he does is make pissy comments. The Lock, unlike Gabriel Slade, pushes back on all Randy Orton's teachings.
What's your deal? Do you think I can't win without your help?
Because you keep going against him, Randy Orton is more than willing to watch you lose your Intercontinental title to Omos.
Where is Randy Orton? Where is Gabriel Slade? Their teammate just got beat down.
And you're pissed that nobody had your back. Evolution was like, hey, you said stay in the back.
So that's exactly what Gabriel Slade chooses to do.
I've heard people say I'm a follower, that I lack killer instinct, that it's held me back my entire WWE career. I'm done with all that. I made the call to stay in the back.
To be fair, this is what you wanted, Lock. Slade is right. You're not a team player. So the Lock quits Evolution.
I quit. Good.
And his spot is being taken by Braun Breaker, Rick Steiner's son. When you go back to the Federation, Evolution has a ton of success. Gabriel Slade is now the world champion. It looks like the Lock didn't make a great choice by leaving.
Unlike you, I actually became WWE champion.
Gabriel Slade has an impromptu title match with the Lock, and when he's about to lose, HBK puts a stop to it. Evolution attacks. Slade wins with a screwjob finish. Tavish wants to help you survive this beatdown, but he's an old man. They beat him down too.
Tavish even eats a Slade runner onto the chair.
You need backup, so your first thought is to DM Batista, who's busy filming, I don't know, Guardians of the Galaxy 46. The next week, the Lock goes and attacks Randy Orton backstage, and Batista is in. He's ready to help you take out Evolution. Oh, and depending on who's your ally in this universe mode, they'll come and help you flip Evolution's limo.
I think they're gonna flip over the limo. This is insane.
HBK is like Holla-Mad Murdoch. He loves when a plan comes together. And that plan is that the Hurt Business and Evolution are gonna work together to beat down the Lock and his crew. The Lock is able to even the odds, and everybody is laid out backstage, except for Orton.
Randy Orton's here and he has no idea.
And Chosen is now here to help. HBK watches as Braun Breaker also gets beat up.
We're gonna have a War Games.
All this faction warfare has been big for ratings, so they want to see it continue. There will be a faction versus faction match to determine who gets to pick your stipulation at SummerSlam. Our side against Sean's. War Games.
That's the wrong Brit to be saying that line. Your team is able to pull off the win at War Games.
Slade is ordered by HBK to lie down. We're gonna make Randy Orton the champ.
Just do the right thing.
I can win the match at SummerSlam. Just give me the chance.
Wow, did HBK just bitch out Gabriel Slade?
Slade just keeps on losing, and HBK is not going to allow this to keep happening.
If you're not picking up on it, there's a common theme with you lately. Losing.
Slade falls in line. Randy Orton is now our world champ.
And here comes the referee to count the pinfall. What a joke.
And Randy Orton is your new WWE champion.
HBK hugs Slade because he did the right thing. But this ate away at Slade, so at SummerSlam, he comes in and RKO's Randy Orton during your match. You're able to beat Randy Orton, and you're the new champ. And that's gonna secure you getting a WWE contract. You think HBK would be super pissed, but actually, you earned his respect. Your stubbornness actually reminded HBK of himself.
Did he color outside the lines a bit on his way there? Yes. But that's what the best artists do. And I respect that. I really do.
Sorry, but I wasn't actually recording yet. Do you mind saying all of that again?
2K24, we actually meet back up with Gabriel Slade, and his life's been in a tailspin ever since leaving Evolution.
A name they refuse to let anywhere near a title match because they know what will happen. They know I'd win.
Starting as early as Day of Reckoning 2 was the WCW talk, with Eric Bischoff being called incompetent and being blamed for screwing up WrestleMania when he lost the world title. He's a terrible GM.
In 2006, Vince McMahon had to come out to confront Eric Bischoff about his blatant abuse of power. Why is Eric out here vacating every championship?
The past several months, I've heard nothing but complaints from the Raw superstars and fans about the way Eric Bischoff has vacated damn near every title on Raw.
Well, Bischoff used to run Nitro.
I used to be in charge of WCW, the most dominant force in the sports entertainment industry.
But now, he's just one of Vince McMahon's lackeys.
I became nothing more than a lackey. Under the thumb, WWE Board of Directors and the almighty Vince McMahon. That not even the great Vince McMahon can stop us now.
In one version of this storyline, Vince actually cuts Eric off. He kind of figured out that Eric Bischoff was working with JBL to sabotage the brand, and he's one step ahead.
You see, I've known about your pathetic little scheme for months, Eric. Did you seriously think you could just start vacating Raw titles without me taking an interest in why you were doing it?
I think Mr. McMahon may be miles ahead of Bischoff.
I've already contacted SmackDown General Manager Theodore Long, and although JBL doesn't even know it yet, this titan of business and sports entertainment, as you call him, has been stripped of his WWE title and fired from SmackDown. I've got someone waiting for JBL in the parking lot.
Wait a minute. I thought Bischoff's show was called 83 Weeks.
88 straight weeks.
Oh, okay. So it's 88 overall wins, but 83 in a row. We find out that Eric Bischoff was doing this sabotaging because he got a new financial backer who wants to start up their own federation, or possibly bring back WCW. Well, that's not gonna happen. Vince is pissed. So JBL is gonna get Mafia whacked. And Eric, you're going back to the mountains of Montana.
You're fired!
Vince has a new champ. In this version, it's Batista, and you get a different interaction when you get to the scene with Eric Bischoff.
I want a damn explanation for your actions.
This time, JBL actually makes it to Raw, and they get to reveal that they were working together.
You're also going to have to take on the man who nearly destroyed the WWE when he ran WCW.
And we all know how that turned out. Mr. McMahon put WCW out of business.
You think you frightened me, JBL? I didn't get here by being stupid and ignorant.
I'm Vincent Kennedy McMahon, damn it. I didn't get to this point by being stupid or ignorant.
Well, Vince also sniffed out this one too, and he brings out Stone Cold, who he calls his secret weapon. That's kind of weird. I thought they hated each other.
Maybe it's like the TV show Scrubs, where Bob Kelso and Dr. Cox are gonna butt heads, well, at the hospital. But outside of it, they actually get along perfectly fine. You could almost say they're friends.
Austin scares the crap out of Eric Bischoff.
Vince, Mr. McMahon, you know that when you hired me, I specifically had it written into my contract that no physical violence would be permitted against me, as long as I'm the general manager of Raw. If either one of you lays a finger on me, I'll sue you. I'll sue you for everything you've got.
Okay, well, Eric got fired in this version too, and also eats a stunner. But Stone Cold still has a job to do. He has to figure out who the mole was for Bischoff and JBL.
You're asking Stone Cold to find some damn traitor, open up a can of whoop ass on a dumb sumbitch, and maybe just raise some hell on the side. Well, sounds like a job for Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay, finding this traitor might be a lot of fun, says Stone Cold. But Vince, get the hell out of my ring. Austin is even given his own office to conduct his investigation.
If there's one thing I know about JBL, besides the fact that he's a no-good yellow sumbitch, is that he ain't gonna give up just cause Bischoff got fired.
Batista, Triple H, and Kane are all gonna meet up in Stone Cold's office. And Stone Cold is gonna rally the troops. We have to take down any of these invading outsiders like JBL. Nobody is gonna take down the WWE. And that's where what I like to call Team Spirit Kane shows up.
Anyone, SmackDown or Raw, thinks they're gonna take my title away from me? I say, come try it.
I'm making you my deputy.
Triple H, a deputy.
All right. So what have you found out so far? I've got some leads, but nothing solid. I figured.
Is Stone Cold in here trying to sleep off a hangover? He's got a lead. And to follow up on that lead, he's gonna send Triple H over to SmackDown.
Teddy Long wasn't consulted. You think Batista is the traitor that was at JBL's limo?
Batista? What the hell were you doing in JBL's limo just now?
Me? I could ask you the same question.
Wait a minute. What is Batista on? How was Triple H gonna be the one to come out of that limo? He'd have to have the ability to bend space and time to magically end up from the limo to this side of Batista.
Look, you've got it all wrong. I'm trying to get to the bottom of the situation just like you. I came here to confront JBL about his plan to handicap Raw.
You guys both have the same goal, to take out JBL.
But if you're calling me a liar, then you and I can settle this right here, right now.
Batista's words are true. He's a man of integrity.
The Big Show and Kurt Angle come over to Raw because why is Stone Cold over on their show meddling?
We ain't always on the same page, but we'll be damned if we let an invasion go unanswered.
These games really liked using Stone Cold as an active bump-taking wrestler, even when he was retired. It's the only place where you're gonna get the wrestling machine version of Kurt Angle or Texas businessman JBL fighting the old Stone Cold.
Toss him around like a piece of garbage.
And Vince is still, I would say, a little sour with JBL after him trying to pull off that hostile takeover.
And I haven't forgotten how you tried to threaten me last month. Steve Austin might not have legal authority over you, but since you've got a contract with the initials WWE on it, I sure as hell do.
Batista isn't a man of his word. He's a turncoat, and you're gonna defeat him at Mania.
And Triple H is our new Raw champion.
But here comes JBL.
What a poor sport. Okay, well, Austin has to make the save, and he stuns Dave Batista.
But now, JBL's back. How do you botch a stunner that bad in a video game? That kick didn't even connect. I think that stunner was so bad that Stone Cold didn't even want to attempt a second one, so he let Triple H do it. And the two-man power trip celebrates together to end WrestleMania.
WWE 12, this European stable talked a lot of crap about the Four Horsemen, so that's why Arn Anderson is on the warpath to defend the Four Horsemen. Kinda strange how Hall of Famer Edge gets his ass kicked by the European stable, but Arn Anderson, way out of his prime, can hold his own with John Cena.
Good job, guys.
Wow, here's the thing, Edge. Nobody asked you.
Now Arn has turned on John Cena, for some reason.
Arn Anderson has betrayed us all. Right between the eyes.
And that helps Sheamus beat him.
Man, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Was this part of Cody's story?
I said I need to talk to Cody. One of these days, the fans will learn. When it comes to Arn Anderson, you better be careful what you wish for.
About as soon as they learn that Edge can never be trusted.
And Edge also feels like if I can't beat him, I might as well join him. WCW must be in the air. When Kevin Nash is brought in as GM, his first act of GM is to bring back WCW for a reunion show.
We're going to put a little tribute show on at the end of the month called the Clash of the Champions.
You remember how there was a lot of bad blood between Nash and Arn over the My Spot? Apparently they're all buddy-buddy now. And at the Clash of the Champions, Cena, who's our world champion, will face Rey Mysterio, a WCW legend. What's so great about WCW?
I don't fully understand all this living in the past. To me, WCW consists of a bunch of has-beens. And WWE was kind enough to put them out of their misery.
Unlike Del Rio, who was a big deal fairly quickly. So to represent WCW, you have Vader and Road Warrior Animal. Frankie Stechino would be so proud of the beatdown that Vader just did on your character. Rey Mysterio has great memories of his days in WCW. Also, Booker T's in for the WCW takeover.
At Clash of the Champions, Team WCW turns on Rey.
And they do a 4-on-1 beatdown to John Cena. Your character is with John Cena, so he's also gonna take a beating.
So instead of the Nexus beatdown, we have legends of WCW recreating it.
4-on-1. This is more than even John Cena can handle on his own.
You think Kevin Nash is here to help? No. He orchestrated this whole thing. He hits a powerbomb, and then Vader hits the Vader Salt. WCW is back, baby. Your character steps to Nash.
Vader time's over, big man.
Oh, it steps to Vader.
The WWE superstars are taking them on.
Who was in the middle of, I would describe, a rampage backstage.
It's a full-on WCW versus WWE war, but Big Show is Team WWE?
For how long? Vader and Booker T are ready to fight you backstage.
And Nash beats your character down with a crowbar.
I'm going to tear WWE apart brick by brick with this very crowbar. Now stay down.
Cody Rhodes is actually sympathetic to WCW, and the Big Show also turns WCW. What a shock.
So, when Kevin Nash approached me and reminded me of the bankroll I made in the NWO, I knew from a business standpoint, this was the only decision.
You see, I actually got a call from Arn Anderson, who tried to convince me to join this group because of my family ties to WCW.
Family ties? Why, this is the first time I'm hearing of Cody having family in professional wrestling.
My father, Dusty Rhodes, was one of the greatest competitors to ever step foot in a WCW ring.
Oh, and it's another game where Rey Mysterio gets to be a heel. Just kidding. Rey remembers Kevin Nash throwing him like a lawn dart, and he's gonna fight off the WCW guys. Triple H is back. We know how he feels about anything WCW. He is more than willing to beat down WCW to help out your character. The WWE is his family.
How's it feel, Nash? How does it feel knowing you're about to pay for your sins?
Wait a minute. Did Rey Mysterio just betray the WWE?
Rey Mysterio has betrayed us all.
Kevin Nash is going to recreate the finger poke of doom. Not the first time I've seen that. And the world title is now around the waist of Rey Mysterio Jr.
Get out of there!
I trusted you, Ray. Trust this.
And Jacob Cash gets laid out.
Nash jokes that he had a great weekend. Oh, why's that? Because Rey Mysterio is the world champion, which is better than being lawn darted. Your character is bummed by the actions that Rey just took. Rey is like a 20-year pro at this point, and Arn Anderson and Kevin Nash offered him the chance to be world champ again. And that's why Rey sold out. Kevin Nash has this plan for us to go back in time to a time when he ruled the wrestling world.
What I want, Hunter, is to bring the destruction of Monday Night Raw and return of WCW Monday Nitro.
I thought the NWO's plan was to kill WCW. So then, why is Nash trying to bring it back? Didn't they succeed already? Right? WCW was gone at this point. They won. This plan is stupid.
We're gonna bring back Nitro. If you can beat him and your character at WrestleMania, Raw is yours. Rey and Nash win at Mania, and now Raw has to become Nitro.
I don't believe this. Not like this. Not like this.
They're even busting out the spray paint, and the ring's gonna say Nitro.
Surprise! That's right, you aren't in the wrong decade. Monday Night Raw is no more. Tonight is a triumphant return of Monday Nitro.
And they were even able to bust out some of the OG logos. Triple H is pissed. You've ruined Monday Night Raw.
I say we push our chips to the middle of the table. Let's go all in.
Is this where Tony Khan comes out with his crew?
It's going to be a 6-on-6 Hell in a Cell match at Starrcade. I wonder if this was just because they didn't want to do a War Games match yet.
You want WCW buried forever? You want Raw back? Well, to do it, you have to come to our house. You have to come to Starrcade.
It's Team WWE, Cena, Undertaker, and you know Vince wants to kill WCW again. I think it makes him hard in the morning, just the thought of putting WCW down again.
I don't believe what I'm seeing. Oh, well, this is his life, Michael. His life's work. There's no way he's going to sit back and watch Raw's destruction.
We got some very over-the-top eliminations at this Starrcade.
Look at that vile expression on Nash. He snapped.
Oh well, this couldn't have happened to a nicer chairman.
Nash has just eliminated Mr. McMahon.
Oh my God. Talk about commitment. Nash takes a bump through the top of the Hell in a Cell.
WCW is dead. What a moment.
We got one last thing to do.
This actually feels like the series finale of wrestling. Vince, Undertaker, John Cena destroying a WCW stage, and all of this rowdiness while Nickelback plays in the background. Overall, I think WCW won, because now in future games, you can recreate famous WCW moments, tell their stories, use their legends, and it's even with different versions of WCW. Considering what we saw in the old WCW games, the ones that they made back during these times, it's almost like there's better WCW representation now than there was 30 years ago.
Now, you can play as Goldberg.
Even if it does feel a little strange to hear Michael Cole and Jerry Lawler call some classic WCW action.
Oh, down goes DDP. Maybe I spoke too soon. Oh, no.
We had another WCW reunion in a future game.
WWE 2K22, My Rise.
And on the My Rise, one of the goals is to put together a WCW reunion show. Mandy isn't quite sure if you can get more than a few people in.
She'll say yes.
First, you have to beat WCW alumni Sean Waltman.
So if this is for a WCW reunion, how come Sean Waltman is dressed up like X-Pac instead of Six?
And that match is enough for us to have that one-night Nitro show. So just reach out to the other stars. Booker T's in, Kevin Nash is in, Rey Mysterio's in. So 10 years from that last WCW game I just covered, it's the same wrestlers being involved, which is odd because I know that Norman Smiley, Kidman, and other ex-WCW guys work for the company.
You couldn't have dug a little deeper? Call more people? DDP? Lex Luger? Heck, I think he just came over to the United States for the first time in 20 years, but you couldn't have called the German, Alex Wright? He'd show you what the Germans are all about. I promise.
There's gonna be a special one-night tribute show to the men and women of World Championship Wrestling, and it's going to be called WCW One Night Nitro. That's right. Raw is now where the big boys play.
AJ Styles is here.
He's pissed that you didn't give him a call.
You guys remember that he was a WCW Cruiserweight Tag Champion, right? We just don't think most people remember that AJ Styles
was even in WCW.
Which is why that version of him was a peg warmer in the Target toy aisle.
And he's pissed you didn't give him a call. He takes it out on all the WCW legends.
He even kicks the WCW sign, which Corey Graves calls a disgraceful act. I don't think Corey Graves would have said anything had Vince McMahon done it, but that's a different point I want to bring up.
So that's how I remember WCW. Not as this company that beat WWE for a short time, or part of this over-glorified golden era of wrestling, but a sinking ship that almost took down AJ Styles with it.
Oh, and he even name drops Air Paris. You've had enough of AJ.
You think Nash has your back.
But Kevin Nash turns on you and hits you with a steel chair. And then he throws out the Too Sweet, and I think he's in line with the Bullet Club boys here. It's like a super clique. They're the new outsiders. But you know what WCW alumni does have your back? Goldberg. 2K23 has you in constant communication with ex-WCW star Tavish. Everyone knows Tavish. Tavish in WCW was a no-name jobber, but now he's a mentor type.
What you saw in WCW wasn't the real Tavish. Do your homework. He's a highly skilled, tough-as-nails competitor who taught me a lot.
He's old and gruff and doesn't have a sense of proper boundaries. He's like those old vets who are really humble on social media nowadays, but you know back in the day thought they were hot shit.
And when you're done feeling sorry for yourself, there's a whole world of wrestling out there for you to build yourself back up, be everything I know you can be, and show WWE what they're missing.
Tavish isn't an actual wrestler, so none of this really happened. He was never the guy who could have been John Paul Levesque in WCW. This is all make-believe.
Was I was supposed to face Goldberg during his legendary undefeated streak.
I think Goldberg's been training at the PC lately. I'll talk to some people there and see what I can do.
Tavish is not actually somebody who Goldberg was supposed to face during his streak. Okay, did Goldberg just job to this guy in an unsanctioned gym fight?
I told you I could do it! The Goldberg monkey is officially off my back!
And boy, were these old wrestling games horned up. As horned up as the women you hear about who want to celebrate Shawn Michaels' world title win in WWF WrestleMania, the arcade game.